Why don't we start off with Joelle? Joelle, you're first up on the Vegas Take. Joelle, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
What's up?
About the witch doctor, I think that's the level of intelligence that we have, and that's what the American people voted for, to have a fucking clown.
Whoa. All right.
On Washington.
All right, we can't. Joel, we got to let you go, my friend. You can't swear on the radio.
I know.
You can't swear on the radio. Thank you for calling in. Number to call, 702-257-5396. Again, the number to call, 257-5396. Don't you think we should know as a country if Russia put a bounty on American troops? Don't you think we should know? And there should be a transcript if the president of the United States brought that up with Vladimir Putin. We can't even get a straight answer out of Donald Trump. We can't even get a straight answer out of him. He won't even give us an answer. They won't release any of the transcripts. He won't even answer the question. He could have said he brought it up. I don't think he did. And then he stands up there on a stage with Vladimir Putin back in 2018 in a press conference, asked if Russia interfered in the 2016 election, and I've talked about this before, and he takes Vladimir Putin's word. That's right, Vladimir Putin's word over our own intelligence. It is a disgrace. What does Vladimir Putin have on Donald Trump? What is wrong with our politicians today? Why do they care more about their party than the country? That is a question I ask. Can't we criticize the president of the United States? I don't care whether he's a Republican or a Democrat. Can't we criticize him for the way he has treated Vladimir Putin and the way he treats us as compared to an evil, murderous dictator? Number to call, 702-257-5396. Let's go to Bill. Bill, you are next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, Brian, I would agree with him asking Putin that question, on stage, if he had something to prove him that he was lying or telling the truth and saying, okay, Mr. Putin, here we go. I got this right here saying you did or you didn't. So I don't approve of that question, and I am a Trump supporter. My other thing I'd like to say is, what is your take on Joe Biden not wanting to be interviewed with Chris Wallace? He's refused a couple of interviews, and like you said, these parties, they're all about themselves.
I think it is a recipe for losing the election. That's what I think. If you recall, Hillary Clinton wouldn't do the Howard Stern show. Hillary Clinton wouldn't go outside of her comfortability. Let me tell you something. When you're the president of the United States, you're not always going to be comfortable. I think it is a big mistake by Joe Biden. I think he needs to go on Fox News. I think he needs to go on every network. I don't care if he's in his home doing the interview. Just do the interview. I don't care if it's in person or not. Just do the interview. And I think it's a huge mistake, and I think it's one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton lost the election in 2016. I really do. And I've always felt that way. Bill, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much for calling in. It's a fair question that Bill brings up. Joe Biden not doing an interview with Wallace. And I think it's a mistake. And I think it's a mistake when we agree with evil, murderous dictators. I think it's a mistake when Donald Trump won't even tell the American public. There are troops that have died. There is intelligence that tells us that Russia put a bounty on American troops. And when President Donald Trump is asked if he even mentioned it in a conversation with Vladimir Putin, he won't tell us. 257-5396 is the number to call. Don't you have a problem with that? I certainly do. Let's go to Ralph. Ralph, you're next on the Vegas Take. Ralph, what's going on?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm a very patriotic American, and presidents, regardless of who they are, they have intel and information the public just can't know. But I remember a couple of decades ago when all of our intelligence, Germany's, Israel's, Britain's, said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Both sides voted unanimously to get us into a war.
Yes, they did, and it was a horrible, horrible mistake.
Correct. That's why I'm not so excited about jumping the gun and getting into a war with Russia.
Okay, but Ralph, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. And I said it. Our intelligence is not always right, and there could have been other reasons why. Listen, there was a lot of money involved with that war in Iraq. You understand that. You understand we should have never gone into Iraq. And there are people out there that did not vote for that war. Sadly, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, a lot of the Democrats did. And it was wrong. We never found those weapons of mass destruction. However, there's a fine line, in my personal opinion, between voting wrong and maybe getting the intelligence wrong, and it was a horrible mistake. Thousands of U.S. troops died. Hundreds of thousands of innocent Iraqi civilians died. But with that being said, Ralph, do you understand where I'm coming from? When you're standing there up on a stage and you agree with an evil, murderous dictator over our own intelligence, I think as Americans, we all should have a problem with that.
Well, I understand your frustration, and the truth is out there. Neither of us will ever know the whole truth about anything in the government, but I'm hoping there's bigger things at play here, and I'm praying it's to the benefit of the American people.
But Ralph, let me interject and let me ask you another question. Let's go back to 2018, and then we'll go to today. In 2018, when Trump is asked that question, all he needed to say was, "This is what Vladimir Putin told me, and this is what our intelligence tells us, and we're going to continue to look into the situation." He didn't even have to say, well, they definitely interfered. It's the way he answered the question. That's number one. Number two, let's go to today right now. We're talking about Donald Trump being asked by a reporter if he brought up the Russian bounty story with Vladimir Putin. I think any reasonable human being would tell you he had to bring that up. He had to do that. He won't even tell us whether he brought it up or not. You see where I'm going, Ralph?
I understand your frustration. In fairness, I'm planning on voting for Trump only because we have two choices. But I'm very frustrated with how he handles Putin and how he's handled the deficit, in particular. Those two items. I mean, he doesn't take any lip from anybody, and then seems like Putin, he soft dances around.
Kim Jong-un. What about Kim Jong-un? There's another one. When he's on a stage with Kim Jong-un and he's asked about Otto Warmbier, the poor kid who was brutally murdered because he took down a poster, okay? And Donald Trump is standing there up on a stage with Kim Jong-un, and he says Kim Jong-un feels really sorry about what happened. I believe him. And he says he wasn't involved. I mean, there's another example. I mean, he's so tough on certain people. But yet, what about, we could talk about Maxwell, a known pedophile associated, with pedophilia, and he says, "I wish her well." And then when he's asked if he's going to be going to the funeral of Lewis, he says, "No, I won't be going." Doesn't even wish him well. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't personally vote for a guy like that, Ralph. That's just me.
I understand and respect that as a fellow American.
Yep. All right, Ralph. Well, I appreciate the phone call. I'm sure you have your reasons. I can only state you the case. In my personal opinion, I cannot vote for a man like that. I cannot vote for a man who has sympathy and wishes a pedophile well in Maxwell, but then when it comes to a civil rights activist his entire life, a hero in Lewis who just passed away, won't even go to his funeral. I personally cannot support a man like that. I just can't do it. Number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 702-257-5396. Again, 257-5396 is the number to call. I want to play you what I'm talking about here because I think this is important. Donald Trump was asked by a reporter if he would be attending the John Lewis funeral. I want you to listen to his response. Have a listen to this.
No, I won't be going. No.
No, I won't be going. No. He didn't wish the family well. He didn't wish the family, his well wishes. Nothing. He didn't talk about the man's legacy. He didn't do it. But when asked about Epstein's girlfriend, Maxwell, who was a known pedophile, God knows how many children were raped because of not just Epstein, but his girlfriend, Maxwell, who is now behind bars. This was last week. Donald Trump was asked about Maxwell. Have a listen to his response.
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
I wish her well. He said that a couple times. Folks, do you understand where I'm going with this? We have a civil rights activist. He dedicated his whole life, almost was beaten to a pulp and almost died. Of course, I'm talking about John Lewis, who is a hero. He's a hero. What a life he's lived. Now, I understand Lewis and Trump didn't see eye to eye when it comes to a lot of political things, but Donald Trump is asked, are you going to the funeral? If he just responded by saying this, I'm very busy We got a pandemic going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I certainly wish his family well. He lived a wonderful life, and he did so many great things for minorities in this country. He's a hero. I'll be speaking more on it later, but, the next few days I'm going to be unable to attend, and my condolences to his family. I would have said, okay. At least he said that. And I just in my conscience, I could just never vote for a person like that. I just couldn't. He's the president of the United States. He's wishing a known pedophile in Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, he's wishing her well. And then we're talking about John Lewis. We're talking about a man. Do I even need to list the things that this man has done in his life? The great things that he's done in his life for minorities. He stood by what he believed in equality for minorities. He almost died because of it on the same bridge where they carried his hearse. And all Donald Trump has to say is, no, I won't be going. Do you not find that to be a disgrace? Do you not find that to be troubling? Squeeze in one more quick call before we go to break. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Listen, I get it. And you don't have to like Donald Trump and not vote for him on moral issues, and that's good, and that's fine. But here's the reality. He's the most consistent politician I can think of in my lifetime.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Give me an example of consistency. He was hold on a second. He was a Democrat his entire life. The man was a Democrat until he decided to run for office. By the way, that's a fact. He was in the Democratic Party. He switched 4 years ago. Oh, really? So that's your idea of consistency?
Hey, hold on. As a politician, he has 5 years experience, and he has not changed one bit.
As a politician, he has 4 years of experience, but go ahead.
As a politician, he hasn't changed
You're
one
right.
bit.
You're right. For the last 4 years and his entire life, he's been an a-hole. So we completely agree, Lewis. Yes, you're right.
Okay, so he has not changed as a politician.
You're right. He's a scumbag his whole life. You're right.
Why are you surprised at his response to John Lewis?
Why am I surprised? Did I say I was surprised?
I know, because he's the president of the United States.
Did I? No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Lewis, when did I, Lewis, I want you to listen. When did I say I was surprised? Did I ever say that?
You're ranting and bitching.
Okay. You know what, Lewis? Have a nice day, okay? I never said I was surprised. Every time I go on this program, I call him a scumbag. Every time I go on this show, I have a laundry list of the horrible things he said and he's done. I'm not surprised at all. The man has no integrity. He's a horrible human being. Ask his ex-wives if you don't believe me, one of whom accused him of rape. Okay, Lewis? So, no, I'm not surprised. Tomorrow, if he raped somebody, I probably wouldn't be surprised, Lewis. Does that answer your question for you?